Welcoming you all to the special podcast from Hindustan International Schools on the occasion of the 79th Independence Day of India. In conversation with a proud patriot and a valiant soldier, Lieutenant General Bobby Mathews. Thank you, sir, for being with us today. At the stroke of the midnight hour when the world sleeps, India awakes to freedom and life. These words resonate in the heart of every Indian with joy and pride. The Hindustan Group of Institutions owes its existence to Dr. KCG Varghese, the patriot and humanist whose ideals and visions have shaped an exceptional educational conglomerate. Following his legacy and taking it forward is the dynamic and exceptional visionary Dr. Anand Jacob Varghese. I wish to draw all your attention to the name Hindustan, which says it all. The institutions have been named so as the founder envisioned them as centers of learning and excellence that would contribute to the nation's progress and development, cutting across the demographic and geographical boundaries. On the 79th Independence Day of our nation, me, Bharti Lakshmi, educator and a proud citizen of the nation, welcome you all to join me on this special podcast in conversation with one of the proudest sons of Mother India and a brave soldier. Lieutenant General Bobby Mathews has been an instructor at the IMA Dehradun Infantry School, the Defence Services Staff College, Wellington, and Deputy Commandant and Chief Instructor at the Indian Military Academy, Dehradun. The General Officer has also attended the Higher Command Air Corps and the prestigious National Defence College at New Delhi. The General took over as the Colonel of the Kumaon and Naga regiments and the Kumaon Scouts on the 1st of May 2015. He took over as Commandant Officers Training Academy, Chennai on 18th October 2015. He retired from the Army on 28th February 2017. The General was appointed by the Government of India as the member of the Armed Forces Tribunal in 2020. It is my pride honor to welcome this prestigious son of the nation to this special podcast. Thank you, General, for being with us on this prestigious occasion.
Thank you,
and we're extremely honored to have you as the Executive Director of Hindustan International Schools.
My privilege, ma'am.
Joining us are the citizens of this era, the students of Hindustan International Schools. They're waiting to converse with this valiant soldier and the general and understand what it means to be at the face of fear, what it means to sacrifice everything for the cost of the nation, and what it means to be in the midst of conflict on the battlefield. Vivan, thank you so much for being here with us, and I'm sure you're as excited as all of us to listen and understand this great soldier of the country. Over to you.
Thank you, ma'am. My name is Vivan Viveknath, and I'm so happy to be joined on this podcast by General Bobby Mathews, sir. Sir, let me start with a basic question. What was your motivation to join the army, and what do you think your objective there was?
Actually, I've been born in a military family, and from the time I can remember anything, I've only seen green, I've only seen soldiers, I've only seen officers, I've only seen the army in my life. So I had only one dream, and that was to join the National Defence Academy, and I was fortunate enough to get selected. And the moment I finished my schooling, I joined the National Defence Academy when I was 17 years old.
Thank you, sir.
That's proud. Vivan, I remember during our conversation, you wanted to ask a certain pertinent question about personal conflict. So would you like to ask that question to the General?
Thank you, ma'am. Sir, have you ever dealt with personal conflict while trying to make decisions on the battlefield? And if so, how have you overcome them?
Actually, decision making, whether it's on the battlefield or whether it's your daily work, there's not much to do, not much difference. The only thing is in operations, you cannot afford to make a mistake because every mistake means maybe a life lost. So we are trained for decision making from the very young age, and our systems are so strong that invariably the decisions one makes in a battlefield is generally correct. And if for some reason you go wrong, then the redundancy systems are so effective that immediately remedial recourse can be effected.
Thank you, sir. Sir, throughout your experiences, what are the most valuable lessons that you have learned and ones that you would like every youth of our nation to know?
Now, without doubt, one is patriotism, to love your country, to love your fellow citizens, and to do your best to make a difference. And that's what the Indian Army is all about, and this is what I believe, and this is what I want all my student warriors to imbibe. To do the best you can and make a difference, and be proud that you've been born in this great country.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Vivan. That was wonderful. And I'm sure all the listeners and children, everybody in this nation listening to this podcast is going to be immensely inspired and motivated. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am.
General, we have more student warriors from Hindustan International School wanting to ask you so much, and there's so less time. We have Agrima Ghosh with us, and she's very keen to understand about a certain Jaisalmer War Museum. What do you have to ask about that, Agrima?
Yes, ma'am. Sir, you founded the Jaisalmer War Museum. What role do such institutions play in instilling the spirit in the future generations?
See, war museums have a very important role. Once we showcase our achievements, our equipment, our valor to the common man of India, it percolates to the rank and file of the country. And the Jaisalmer War Museum is in a beautiful place. Jaisalmer is the home of the warriors of India. Yes. And the entire exercise, which has given me tremendous joy, because whatever efforts we put in, we've got much more than back from the population of India. It's a must-be spot for all people who come to Jaisalmer. And we've tried to ensure that all the valor, all the bravery, all the mystery of the armed forces is unfolded before the common Indian.
This is what a soldier is all about, who wants history to speak about the independence era, about the valiant soldiers. Thank you, sir. Agrima, we were discussing something about the school curriculum, and you wanted to ask a very pertinent question about it.
Yes, ma'am. So, if you could rewrite the school curriculum, what would you add to make the students better understand about our independence, like the essence of it?
If I had a choice, and it's a wonderful question you asked me, we must lay emphasis on what India is all about, what India has offered the world, what is our culture, what is our ideology, what is the history of India. It's something which we can be all very proud of. Yes. Unfortunately, what India is has not percolated to each and every Indian. And what we know about India is what somebody else perceives what India is. I would be very happy if each one of us can perceive India from the eyes of an Indian and not from the eyes of a European or an American or any other person other than an Indian. I would focus on history, culture, and the wonderful spirit of India.
A patriot in the truest sense. Agrima, how does it feel when you sing the national anthem? But I want you to ask the general how it feels.
Of course, ma'am. So, when you stand for the national anthem, what images or memories are playing in your mind?
I must tell you, every time the national anthem is played, I get goosebumps. I'm an awful singer, but I sing with all my heart. And when I do that, all the people on my left and right, they also start. If they see an old man singing, they feel they should also do that. And each word of the national anthem carries so much of meaning, so much of weight. And I'm very surprised that a small little couple of words really enthuses each one of us and encapsulates what India is. Each word, each line is so full of meaning, so full of verve, so full of patriotism, and so full of what India means, the essence of India. I'm a true fan of the national anthem, and my sincere gratitude to the wonderful lyrics, the words, and to the genius who composed this.
So if Tagore wrote the national anthem, here is a patriot telling us how to feel about it. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Agrima.
Sir. Thank you, ma'am.
Another student warrior, Aditya Kushwaha, wanting and waiting to understand the general from a soldier's perspective. Aditya, all yours.
Sir, looking back at your time when you served the nation, how would you define yourself as a soldier? And not by the ranks or by the awards. How would you define yourself based on the values that you chose to live by?
You asked me a very complicated question, but what do I choose to live by? I choose to live by whatever I've imbibed in this wonderful armed forces of ours. And what is that? Is being truthful, being patriotic, and doing something for the country. And if it requires to give your life, because everyone comes, everyone goes, but it's only the chosen few who can die for their country. And one always feels privileged while you serve the army, you're able to do it without a second thought. And the armed forces gives us the opportunity to take on challenges much beyond normal human endurance and effort. But the very fact that you're doing it not for yourself, but you're doing it for others, gives you that extra ounce of energy to achieve whatever seems insurmountable. I cannot explain in words what it means to wear that uniform, I cannot explain in words what it means to wear stars on your shoulder. I cannot explain what it means to see the admiration your fellow countrymen have for a soldier. And these are things which cannot be valued in terms of money. It has to be valued in terms of experience. So it's something, and what is my message? My message to everybody is, be proud to be born on this wonderful, wonderful country of ours, and each one of us have to make a difference. I hope I've answered your question.
Did you notice the pride in that general, not as a general, not as an officer, but as a soldier of a great nation? Thank you, sir. Aditya, you wanted to ask something pertaining to the present times.
Yes. Sir, you're now the executive director of our group of institutions, and you're surrounded by children the whole day. Having seen all of this, other than hoisting the flag or singing the national anthem, what does patriotism inside a school campus mean? And having served for so long, what can your learnings from your time in the army contribute to your role as an ED here?
Yes. So I'll take this question part by part. Firstly, I cannot thank the chairman enough for giving me this opportunity to make a difference into the lives of the student warriors of Hindustan, which I take it as a privilege. And what do I expect from a student warrior? Make every minute count which you're here. The effort your parents have taken to send you to such a wonderful school. Pay back. How do you pay it back? By learning all what you can in the four walls of this school, learning values, learning ethics, and making your parents proud, making your school proud, and in doing that, making India proud. That, in the essence, is what I expect each of the warriors to accomplish.
Let's leave aside inter-country tensions, right? What is one urgent problem that you wish to address in our nation? And as Indians, ranging from schoolgoers like us to veterans like you, what is one small thing that each of us can do to serve the nation?
Unfortunately, what I'm going to say might not sound very pleasant. What I wish, and if I had one wish, the Almighty asked me, we all are looking at what this country has to do for us. In turn, I think there is a relook required. Each one of us does a little service to this country and our country will be great. We are always looking at somebody else to do things for us. Each one of us can contribute, and if 140 crore Indians contribute, then this country will be at the top of the world. So each one of us has a role, and this attitude of somebody else doing work must stop, and all of us have to put our shoulders together and make this country move forward.
General, on this 79th Independence Day, what would be your message to the entire nation as such? You've been on the battlefield, you've been on the highest ranks, but to the nation as it is now, what would be your message to the nation?
My message to all my fellow countrymen is, we are on the threshold of a new beginning. We are on the threshold of history being made again. 200 years back, we were 1/4 of the gross domestic product of this world. And we are now on the cusp of regaining that glory. Be proud of what we are going to achieve, and be proud of what you can do to achieve that goal. I've lived my life, but what I see for the next generation is happy times, proud times, and great times. I wish to express my felicitations to all my countrymen on the occasion of Independence Day. I want this Independence Day to be the brightest Independence Day in everybody's life. God bless you. Jai Hind.
Thank you, General.
Thank you, sir.
As the nation proceeds and progresses towards the highest developments, Hindustan International School strives ahead with the highest and the best motivation around us, signing off saying, to make every child a success and no child a failure. Jai Hind.